Christmas wreaths have long been a universal sign of the season, but this morning Amber's with an inspiring lady who's going to put a whole new spin on this holiday tradition. And Amber, let's do it. Let's do Christmas. Why not?
I know. I mean, you're right, Danny. Halloween is over. Let's get straight to Christmas, right? Okay, so here's the thing. Holiday wreaths, those old holiday wreaths, they're out, and fresh moss wreaths are in. And that's why I wanted to bring you to the studio of Kelley Anderson. She is a botanical artist, and she's amazing and beautiful and crazy talented when it comes to putting something just a little bit different together. So before we get to your wreaths, she's going to show us how to make one. I have to ask you, a botanical artist, how did you become this? What inspired you to do that? She's going to show us how to make one. I have to ask you, a botanical artist, how did you become this? What inspired you to do that?
So I've always been really inspired to start a business doing something along those lines. And I discovered this preserved moss, which is real moss, but it's suspended, and it doesn't require any care, no water, no sunlight whatsoever.
So the funny part, I had asked you earlier, I was like, oh, so this is just plastic. And you're like, no, this is real. And guys, if you smell this, like you can say,
smells like the forest.
It really does. It's incredible. But as we make these wreaths, you can keep these for years to come, yeah?
Yes. So it's going to stay looking exactly like this for years and years, even decades, and you don't have to do anything at all.
I love that. That's what we like, people. I don't have the time to do this over and over. I just want to do it once and be done.
Once and done.
Yes, exactly. So before we do get started, I just have to say, I love that you were inspired by this, but then all of a sudden she started collaborating with huge businesses. I mean, I walked into West Elm and she did a collaboration with them. You've done a ton of stuff since then.
I have. I do a bunch of residential and commercial projects. I work with Sage Wellness. Yep. So I've done most of their retail stores in the U.S. I work with Fresh Restaurants, which is a vegan restaurant. They have a location here on Sunset. They're all over Canada as well, among a ton of other ones.
I was going to say, you might be walking around LA and see her work all the time. So girl, let's get straight to this. I am not crafty, so I was asking Kelley earlier, like, this is pretty easy to make, and she said it is. So let's get started.
Even if you're not crafty, you can do this.
Okay,
super easy.
Good.
So all the materials you can source from like a local craft store. All this stuff was bought at Michael's. They actually have preserved moss there as well. Okay. So you can go everything you need there. You can use a wire frame. You just would cover it with burlap, so you have a surface to glue to. Okay. Or one of these branch wreaths is also a great base. So you're going to just take your preserved moss, and we use amazing hot glue. Okay. Just careful of your fingers.
Yeah, and you said you can find this actually at Michael's, just preserved moss.
Yes.
Be there? Okay.
Yeah. It's, preserved moss has gotten really popular the last few years. So they have it. It actually comes in all different colors as well.
Oh, very cool.
So you're just going to attach it, and you just kind of keep gluing the pieces. You can rip them apart if you want, and just kind of put it together like a puzzle. So you're going to go around and fill the entire wreath with the moss. Glue those on, and then after that you can add, ribbon or pine cones or any faux flowers. You can even put fresh sprigs of spruce on it if you want. It's basically like the moss is a great palette, and then you can go anywhere you want from there.
Yes,
it's creative you want.
So that's what I like about this, because I was asking her earlier, like, how long does this take you? It's actually pretty quick, it's easy, and it's affordable, which I think we all like. And for those of you, like my neighbors, I know they're already looking at me like, hey, you need to take your Halloween decorations down. I can't wait to have this, because I do feel like this is just so unique, and there's something very like fresh and beautiful about it.
Yeah. It lasts forever, which is great, and I think it's unique and different, and something that everybody has.
Yeah.
Especially when you made it yourself. That's extra special.
I can't wait. I cannot wait for someone to ask me. I'm going to be like, oh, did you notice the wreath that I created? For those of you who are like, hey, I still don't have the time, that's okay, because I know that you have a website, and also she has a beautiful blog, which is Beauty and the Brit. Her fiance is also an artist, which you can check out. But can you go to your website and buy certain things too if someone's like, hey, I don't really want to take the time to do that?
Absolutely. I have an online shop where I sell framed moss art pieces as well as these wreaths, and that's KelleyArtBotanica.com, which is spelled Kelley, Art Botanica.
There you go. And guys, just take a look at, come on, isn't this great?